Every Thursday, we ask Dirk the weather question.
Yes, it is another Ask Dirk segment, and today we're talking about contrails. Exactly what are they, and how do you spell contrails? Everybody say chemtrails, C-O-M or C-O-N?
We see some contrail right there. Well, the question is, okay, this is from Jessica in Sacramento. Says, I'm interested in finding out more with what we are seeing in the skies above. I've been researching chemtrails, and I can't help but wonder if that is what's happening in the skies. I see a lot of them, and lots of them going in miscellaneous different directions, spreading, looking larger and more cloud-like. I was hoping to get more information on them. Well, more than likely what you're seeing are what is contrails, and they can happen at different times of the day, different times of the year. I mean, it happens quite frequently, actually, and you can see here, LiveCopter 3 actually got this footage of some contrails created by commercial jetliners that are flying overhead. Now, why do we see different patterns all the time? Well, it's because we have different layers of the atmosphere, and it changes constantly. But what creates the contrails? Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's get our jetliner to fly in here, and there we go. We have the creation of the contrail at this point. What's happening with the jet engine, and as well as with any combustion engine that's going through the air, is you have the intake of air coming in to the engine. The combustion occurs. What mainly comes out is carbon dioxide and water vapor, H2O. That H2O, of course, is injected into the atmosphere. So that's the perfect ingredient to help create condensation, which takes place. So you have the water vapor from the exhaust of the engine. You have the exhaust particles, which actually acts like a nucleating agent for the water to cling to. And you have to really cold temperatures. This is up above, like 26,000 feet that these planes are flying at. And so you're looking at air temperatures at about 40 degrees below zero. So very, very cold air, of course, the exhaust particles and the water vapor from the exhaust. Now, why do we have different days that have different patterns of the contrails in the air? Let's go ahead and take a look at the three different scenarios. These are not the only scenarios, but these are the three basic scenarios that you're going to see. Either there's going to be no contrails, that means you have a very stable atmosphere. If you have a little bit of instability in the atmosphere, what's going to happen is you're going to have the plane fly by, you'll see the contrail, but then the contrail is going to dissipate after it. So that means that it's going to be, for a period, you're going to see the contrail, and then it's going to disappear. The next scenario is going to be you're going to see the contrail form, and then it's going to stay in the sky. And it can stay in the sky for a long period of time, but it's not going to grow. The third scenario is where you have a contrail that forms off of a plane, and then it grows, and it actually, the plane creates a big cirrus cloud because the environment that it's flying through is very unstable. And so those are the three scenarios. Let's go to our demonstration now.
We like this part. This is
Here we go. This is the stable environment. I might have to get this over here closer. You have the atmosphere that's in a stable state right here at this point in this dish. This is actually a lampshade. And so I'm going to move the ball. When the plane goes through, it moves the atmosphere, and that creates the contrail. And you have the contrail for a period of time, but then it goes back to its stable state. So that's a stable atmosphere.
Okay.
The next one would be if I take this away. Here's the atmosphere. I started at this point. It's in a stable state. The plane flies through. It moves, creates the contrail, but then it stays in the air. It doesn't get any bigger, doesn't get any smaller at that point, but it stays in the air. The third scenario is this. You have the atmosphere that's here. The plane comes along. It triggers the formation, the condensation. You get the contrail, and then it just keeps on going. That's the scenario in the atmosphere that you have where it's unstable, and the plane flying through creating the contrail actually triggers the formation of more clouds, and so that's why you have the big clouds that come off of those contrails sometimes. And so the three scenarios, and it always changes. In fact, you can have a part of the day that's stable, and then some more moist air comes in, and then you have part of the day where the contrails are up there, and the air is always moving. That's another thing that people always say. You see those patterns in the sky? Well, there's lanes of traffic in the air, and as the planes fly through them, the air moves, and so those contrails move, and so it looks like a grid pattern that sets up across the sky. And so that's where I think a lot of the controversy and conspiracy theories come with chemtrails.
Okay, so but this is not a chemtrail, C-H-E-M.
Not a chemtrail.
It's a condensation trail.
Yes, it's a condensation trail.
Thank you for answering my question.
Very educational. So if you want to send your weather question to Dirk, just go to our morning website page. The address is kcra.com/morning news. There you'll find the Ask Dirk section on the right-hand side of the page. You can also fill out the form right there. Plus, if you missed the segment or you just want to watch it again, you can see all the videos there as well. Once again, it's kcra.com/morning news.